but with DTR can run Kevin's system, and we saw it yesterday. Actually, Deshaun was under center more yesterday prior to the injury than I recall.
Yeah.
Just off the eye test.
Right.
He was under center a lot. They got back to the play action game. 13 personnel, 3 tight ends. I think you're going to see more and more and more of that going forward.
And
the
we
rest
should.
Of the way. Yeah.
Jedrick Wills is
Oh, Lord.
he's horrible again.
By the way, we were
Horrible.
playing guys at wide receiver yesterday because the guys we went out and made moves for apparently aren't even good enough to stay on the
it was
field.
a discipline
Hey,
issue.
Cedric Tillman played well. I'll give him credit.
Yeah.
He had a good game.
G, give me a minute on Jed Wills. I'll do a read and we'll talk DTR.
Jed Wills.
Perfect lead up to that. But you got a minute. The floor is yours. A minute
Yeah.
on Jed Wills.
I know y'all seen the meme. I know y'all seen it.
When he threw his hand, when he
Yeah,
let the guy,
yeah,
and then, like,
He laid, and then he was like, what?
That's
his career in the nutshell.
If it wasn't for the quarterback getting blasted and potentially taking bodily harm, it would be funny. But this is a sad. By the way, when you perform that poorly, that is a reflection on an offensive line coach. Because what that shows me, and is what I've been saying from Jump Street, is these guys don't know what they're doing. They don't know their assignments. They don't have a concrete Bible that says, do this on this play. If A happens, you do B. If B happens, you do C. Like, he's seriously up there with no clue who to block. And
The thing is, though, there was only one guy
it was one dude. and if you're and I don't understand how that could be like your response. In high school you couldn't do this, man. Like if you did this in college, you would be sat down and never play again. But the point I'm looking at is like, it's so funny, it's a meme. And Kevin, you gotta be on these dudes with this, man. You can't have that type of stuff. That look bad on your coaching staff. That look like you ain't coaching. It looks like you don't know the fundamentals of the game, man. It's just crazy.
He got mad over a penalty yesterday, which first time I've seen that.
I don't understand. See, and this is why referees don't give Browns the benefit of the doubt. They already know you guys are self-checked. The Browns are self-checked. The penalties here, the offsides here. Jed Wills is a top 10 pick, Bull.
Was he top 10?
Yeah,
10.
he was,
You're
he
right.
was 10th.
You're right. Wow.
I
It sucks.
I
given
never.
up.
I don't like. You guys know I'm
Yeah.
pretty. I try and be pretty realistic, and I don't speak in hyperbole. This is not hyperbole. They may need 4 to 5 new offensive linemen next year.
Well, not just offensive
No, that's
line.
not hyperbole.
Honestly,
No, think about
they
it.
may
That-
all be gone.
Well, let
Sweet.
me ask you, forget just the offensive line.
And by the way, that
They
takes
may need
usually
8 to 9 offensive
4 to 5
starters.
years to
Guys, wait a second.
Hey, go ahead.
Think about the offense as a whole. Let's try to be unemotional about it if possible.
Yeah.
All right.
How many guys on this current offense do you think are, and not just doing it because they have nobody else,
Right.
but are legitimate starters in 2025 in the NFL?
David Njoku.
2.
Correct.
And Jerry Jeudy, and that's it.
Well,
I don't even know about Jerry
Are we
Jeudy.
doing skill position or everybody?
Everything,
Everybody.
the whole offense.
Joe Bitonio. Joe's still a starter. I don't know if he wants to live through another where this is headed. He may just retire. I don't know.
I think he lost a step, but he would probably start
He's still
for
a
one
starter.
team.
I think Joel Bitonio, Wyatt Teller,
They're still
David
starters.
Njoku, hopefully Nick Chubb, but we don't know that yet, and Jerry Jeudy as a number 2 receiver,
Yes.
Not as a
not
one.
a number
Yes.
1,
No way.
Yes.
are starters. That's
Yes.
5 guys.
That's it.
That's 5, and that's if Nick Chubb is able to come back.
And
It doesn't include the quarterback.
Oh,
which should count as
Posick.
7.
Okay, all right, Posick.
And then the most important person is the quarterback.
Right.
Right. You absolutely need a quarterback. You need to totally revamp tackle. They don't have one tackle for
You
next
need
year.
right or left tackle.
They have no wide receivers. Now listen, maybe again, Cedric
Jeez.
Tillman, I know it's easy to roll our eyes on it. I thought he played well yesterday. Maybe that's a sign of things to come. He's got the rest of the year to prove himself.
Someone's got to catch passes
But-
now. Amari's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to go to someone.
But you obviously need more receivers. You obviously need tackles, and you need a quarterback. They
Did
got
you
a
guys
lot
see
to do on offense.
Did you guys see any of the Kareem Hunt stuff yesterday?
No.
No.
What'd he do?
He's a good short yardage back. Really good short yardage
He
back.
I think he had over 100 yards combined. A couple touchdowns.
Boy,
If you need 2, he'll get you 3.
Hey,
if
Darren,
you need 4, he'll
Darren,
get you 3.
Darren
He'll
sends
get you
me.
3.
Who do we have on our team that
Darren
does that now?
Smith sends me messages every week talking about JC. Say, Jason, tell Jason Lloyd.
He
man
had 80. He had
My man
83
Kareem Hunt.
He's still washed, guys. Like I said,
Hey.
if you need 2, he'll get you 3.
Clip it.
If you need 4, he'll get you 3.
You have his numbers?
What his
He
numbers
had
look like?
83 total yards on 24 touches.
Yeah,
Average
that's not
3.4
great.
yards
He had
per
2
touch.
touchdowns. Listen,
Listen, we
here's-
need a guy like that.
here's
Every
the-
team does.
We
Here's
got
the
Deontay
problem.
Foreman.
Here's
Do
the
we?
problem on this situation.
I don't know.
Is that Jay and Jason have screwed up this whole Kareem Hunt thing. Because Jay, for the last year, has highly overrated Kareem Hunt.
No,
and
I haven't.
In my opinion. I'm giving you my opinion. I think you've overrated him.
And then I'll tell you what
and
my
Jason
opinion of
has
him is.
gone too far.
I said he's on 3 wheels. He is.
He's
Yeah,
gone
he
too
is.
far. You just said he was washed, which means he's useless.
I said he's on.
not
I said
useless.
all last year he's on 3 wheels. That's what I said.
He
That's what I
is-
said.
he's
He
a num-
is.
He is a good number
You
2
can get
running
3
back.
yards on 3
Hey,
wheels. It's a yard a wheel.
He is a good number 2 running back. That's what he is.
And McNuggets, it don't do you no good when you trot Deontay Foreman out on kickoff return. Why is he on kickoff return?
Well, we're going to do a whole special thing
Why?
tomorrow because that was a debacle. We got to talk about DTR's performance when he came in for Deshaun Watson. We'll do that after a quick word from BetterHelp. October is the season for wearing masks and costume, but some of us feel like we wear a mask and hide more often than we want to at work, in social settings, around our families. Therapies can help you learn to accept all parts of yourself so you can take off the mask, because masks should be for Halloween fun, not for our emotions. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Take off the mask with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/lockedon today to get 10% off your first month. That is BetterHelp, HELP.com/lockedon. So DTR was QB2 in this game. He got activated over Jameis Winston. According to Jason, he didn't find out till late in the week that he was going to be quarterback 2. Guys, what'd you see from DTR in his pretty decent amount of action coming in for Deshaun in the second and
Nothing.
playing until
He
he
was
got
You saw nothing. He ran scout team all week. What'd you expect?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to hold it against him. He was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't play much worse than he did.
No,
His
he's
throws were
terrible.
horrible.
Right.
He made a couple of nice runs, but he got tattooed on that one run.
That man got to go to the crash.
Well, what is he doing?
He's
He
gotta
weighs like
keep his-
150 pounds.
Keep your feet on the ground, young
bro.
man.
Come
First
on.
of all,
Yeah,
keep your
please.
feet
Oh
on
my
the ground.
God. I don't even know who hit him on that play,
That's
but-
like the big concern with him is he can't stay healthy.
No.
He had the concussion last year, came back from that, took 5 snaps in garbage time against Houston when
Yeah.
Flacco won them game, the Christmas Eve game.
Ankle.
He took 5 snaps and dislocated his hip.
Yeah.
And then he plays yesterday and he busts up his finger, his middle. I better be careful. His middle finger.
We're going to talk about it more tomorrow, but Jay and Jason are not going to be here tomorrow, so I think you guys should make your opinion on DTR versus Winston.
Is he the dude?
Well, here's the thing. What's the objective?
I mean, to me, the objective is to see if DTR can be a starter. I
That's
doubt
the
he can
answer.
be, so.
Like, if you want to win games,
Yeah.
I think Jameis Winston.
Sure.
But if you have to figure out now, the last 10 games of the season, this is what it's about. Who's
Jason.
any good?
Who you playing, Winston or?
Oh, it's no
DTR.
It's DTR all the
Yeah.
way.
It has
Because
to be.
Number one, you have to figure out the odds are he's not an NFL starter, right? The
I
odds
agree
are
with that.
Yeah, right.
But
Let's find out.
I thought he was decent at times last year. I've said it 100 times. Tyvis and I both said, well, he thought something was there in the Denver game. He was starting to figure it out, and then he got the concussion and he went away. The big concern is the injuries. If he can't
Yeah.
stay on the field, then he's not the guy.
And
He also is interception prone.
Right. We'll talk
You know,
a lot
I mean, that's
more
a
about
problem.
this tomorrow.
I play DTR because
Yeah.
either you find out he is the guy going forward, or
Yeah.
you're so bad that you're in position to go get the guy.
Oh,
Let me ask you
oh,
this, guys. Why did DTR not even know he was going to be the backup?
I don't know.
Like,
I
what
asked
is
the same
happening
thing.
there?
I asked the same thing.
What is?
This is twice with DTR.
It's fine if they don't tell us.
Yeah, but
But
he
he
should
should
know.
know.
He
Like,
should
that's
know.
crazy.
I was told they went out, so they do their walkthrough on Saturday.
Yeah.
So they go through for the Saturday walkthrough, and Deshaun goes out for short yardage, and the players were looking around like, they had no idea. They didn't even know, and because Deshaun has never been the short yardage quarterback, it was always Jameis. But the
He
coaching
ran a
staff,
sneak yesterday.
yeah, he
Shocking.
did. The coaching staff knew that Jameis was going to be down and DTR was going to be up, so Deshaun was going to have to do the short yardage.
It's like
but
bullshit.
the players
why
didn't
is
even know.
that? Why is that a trade secret
I
inside
don't-
the organization?
I
That
don't
makes
know.
no
Did
sense.
you
I
guys
don't know.
see last night? Did you see the conversation in the Sunday night game about Friday practices? I wanted to ask
No,
you about that.
I did not see that.
They had a conversation about Friday practices, about how the league in general just kind of mails it in on Friday, except for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Collinsworth and Mike Tirico had a fascinating conversation in which they were talking about a conversation they had with Tomlin about that. And Tomlin said to them, look, it's a day of practice. It might be the most important day of practice. And they legendarily have 2 to 3 hour grind sessions on Friday. And Tirico asked, do you think that costs you free agents? And I love Tomlin's answer. Absolutely it costs us free agents. It's known league-wide what we do here on Fridays. And I think Collinsworth then said, well, doesn't that hurt you? And he says, no.
They don't want those guys.
I don't want those guys.
Right.
Yeah.
The guys that are afraid to come here because they're afraid to work on Fridays, stay where you are. And go to Cleveland.
Yeah, he's right.
To that point.
How do they practice on
He didn't
Fridays?
say go to Cleveland.
No, of course not.
That's your bitterness.
That's
right
my
there.
bitterness.
I've had conversations with
You know
Zach
me well,
Jackson
Bill.
about this. And Zach said this training camp, Zach watched every minute, and there was no day that he missed because he said eventually they're going to have to actually practice, they're going to have to actually work, and it never happened.
I heard that too.
He said it was the lightest, easiest
I heard that too.
camp in preseason he's ever seen. Because
and look what you got.
And look what you
Boy.
got.
Yeah.
But eventually, because he was like, there's always a day or two where he misses because he said, I couldn't miss one day because I needed to be there when they actually practice because Zach loves watching training
real
camp practices, and they never did it.
And listen, I was critical about the way they play their players in the preseason.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if organizationally, somebody in the organization decided that, look, you're killing your guys in camp, you're killing your guys in preseason games. Let's just ease into the season, and you get what you get.
But to your point, I was told that they have really intensified the last couple of weeks.
It's too late.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that they did mix things up in terms of operations, in terms of intensity. Wednesdays particularly became a harder practice day than it had
But
been
Jason,
in the past.
if they don't do it in training camp next year,
you're setting a mindset.
And this is
what Pittsburgh
where
does.
Listen, Jay, we've argued over analytics, and I like using analytics to make smart decisions.
I agree.
But I think this is an area where the nerds have screwed up, and I'm pro nerd, 100%. But I believe this is an area where the nerds, because there's become so much concern about injury. And look, in baseball, we baby these guys. More injuries than ever. The Browns, softest camp. More injury. Who's had more injuries than the Browns the last 2 years?
I can't think of anybody.
And there's got to be something to that.
You're right.
You're
right.
You need a sharp football guy that ain't gonna play no games. You need one of them dudes that's not gonna, because what you will get is you get guys like Jedrick Wills standing up doing this.
That's right. And I think that's a big reason. And why the Detroit Lions, a franchise just like the Browns. The Browns, they were the Browns of the NFC.
Yep.
They have a coach. He's all in on analytics, Dan Campbell. All in.
But he's also in on passion and fire. Yes.
But he's also a badass tough guy.
Yep.
And that's what you need. You need the badass football tough guy who also believes in making smart decisions
Detroit got
based
it right,
on analytics.
and we're
they
1-6.
nailed it. They have a good GM. Their coach is great. And they've been one of the best teams in football. We'll see if they win a Super Bowl.
Here's how you know you got a problem when people don't respect what you're talking about. When you got a guy like Amari Cooper that played for Nick Saban, and Nick Saban said, Amari Cooper, out of 3 years he was here, he was never in my office. I never even had a conversation with him. He avoided me like the plague, and he understood he did everything right. He was never in trouble, went to every practice, worked his tail off. When you get a guy like Nick Saban who says that about Amari Cooper, and then you get Amari Cooper who, for the first time in his whole life, he's saying, I wouldn't mind getting traded. His body language looks completely different, and he eventually moves on. When he's doing that, what is everybody else doing then?
Good seed, bad soil.
Did you guys see the replay of his touchdown with Buffalo?
Yeah.
Yes.
He didn't know the play.
I didn't know what's going on.
Had a great week. Doesn't even know the playbook. Scored a touchdown.
I mean, look at Josh Allen. For
The
all
way you look down to the left, it looked like you was hurt.
for all the
If you can't tell,
It was like that.
No, I'm crushed.
Had a great week.
for all the
Touchdown.
people.
I said Friday, I go, man, there's so many things that could happen this weekend. We've got 3 massive games. We could go 2-1. We could go 1-2. We could go 3-0.
That's
We
wild.
went 0-3.
No, they won one. Guardians
In my
won one.
mind, we went 0-3.
It didn't let him down. You
Because
win.
Jason, it was 0-3.
You know,
It was 0-3.
Thursday.
Friday, Guardians lost. Saturday,
Oh,
Guardians
that's right.
lost.
Yeah,
They won-
and listen,
they won Thursday.
listen, I've never done this before. I couldn't go to Game 5.
I was
Didn't
looking
go.
for you on TV.
Didn't go. My wife was like, what? I go, I've been to too many funerals.
You know what's funny?
I'm not going because I know what's going to happen.
My
And when you know what's going to happen in sports, there's no reason to watch.
My